Hey kids, for today's 31 Days of Horror reviews every day until Halloween and including Halloween. Got this Dollar Tree movie called Covenant. They hide in plain sight. That's that's a crappy tagline. Evil will show no mercy. That's generic, but why not? But oh god, this movie was interesting. Uh, just in the little beginning, it seems like it could lead to something interesting. Uh, it does, but that doesn't show itself until later. And let me get back to the point. uh, but yeah, the beginning is pretty interesting, but you end up having there's a cult in the woods, and a woman has a child, and she's trying to save her baby, and her husband is kind of arguing the point, uh, but he does come around to the way she's thinking it based on a scene later on. Uh, and a sheriff uh, picks her up and the baby, and then that leads into one of the worst CGI effects I've ever seen in any movie, at least in recent years. Just this weird smoke. The lightning is kind of acceptable, but this is done in daylight too, which I mean, hide your limitations. That's what I say. But this blue demon comes out of the smoke, and he's really well done, well sculpted, well put together. Has you know like leather armor type garb on, and that yeah, that's one of the high points. But I didn't, just from that really short beginning, I didn't expect this type of flamboyancy, especially just in the woods. It's really a lot of earth tones and stuff, and then this happens. But yeah, that was in history back in the year of my graduation, 1984. So the boy grows up. He's a war veteran, and he is played by Nick Smith. I did not check out any of his other roles, but and it, he plays the biggest fucking douchebag. I've seen. I mean, he's like the top five of douchebags I've ever seen in a movie, and we're being asked to uh, sympathize with him. And well, what happens is he's called home to the hometown that he fled because apparently his mother went into the middle of a church and set herself on fire. And yeah, he butts head with the sheriff right away. I mean, the sheriff is suspicious of him uh, even before he actually meets him and realizes how much of a dick he is. Uh, but what happens is, of course, there's an interest in him because of the cult and that he escaped and all, and some things, little ghostly bits. These little girls are creepy little, almost sort of Japanese long hair type thing. Little girls are seen. Those are usually digitally placed. I think they do it for the, like a change in lighting and having control over the lighting if it's an outside shot. Those are passable. It's when they really get flamboyant, it tends to really be really crappy digital effects. But they're probably just on a really low budget. But what is weird is eventually some shit breaks loose. Hits the fan a bit. He ends up having a run-in with this uh, Ukrainian Black Widow wannabe, and that kind of is a weird element. Suddenly, there's an action, you know, cliche or stereotype or whatever, put right in the middle of this movie. This douchebag that we're supposed to be sympathizing with, and suddenly, Laura Croft shows up. But she helps him out throughout his quest, and a lot of weird shit happens, and that's the thing about the movie. It's just like it had that first bad digital effect, and then they introduced the lead character as this dick, and it's like, I'm really not digging this, and then they throw a few. I'm not saying I like it though, but they throw all these weird curveballs and odd characters, like the action heroine, and some odd, there's an element of that could have been probably taken from Phantasm, that part when Michael goes halfway into between those two rods, and he sees into the other world, and that's kind of replayed or rebooted in this movie for their purposes. Uh, just quickly, the director is named Manuel H.D. Silva. Uh, he hasn't done too many other movies. I don't have them up. I'm not going to click on that, but the one thing I can really honestly say about the movie, the best parts, other than that, demon makeup, is it's really, for the most part, it is really well photographed. It really does look good. I mean, it's there's no epic shots or anything, but I'm talking about it. It looks crisp, clean, and exactly the way you would want it for a movie this low budget. It probably elevates it from what it would normally look like, and the editing. Uh, both of them just they're on point. Uh, I don't really like the movie because I just couldn't stand that character, and there could have been an easier way, because it does figure into later on, but I think there could have been a much more interesting, and maybe this was the easy way, but another way might have been harder. I mean, I'm not sure, but yeah, parts of it I really liked. I liked the twist ending. Some people might see it coming. I did not, uh, but it made sense, and I liked it. uh, but I really can't. I mean, if you want to see some kind of wacky, not really, really over the top wacky, but it does get kind of wacky, uh, Covenant might actually be up your alley. Okay, that's it for today's Friday, the 15th. It is the 15th, isn't it? Yep, October 15th. Well, until next time, stay safe. Always have a good time. Thank you, and goodbye.